After a 14-year absence from Formula 1, Toyota makes its return to the grid heading into the 2023 season. Also returning to the grid is 37-year-old Kamui Kobayashi, who has been brought in to help lead and develop the team in its return season, alongside rookie Benjamin Zvezky. Toyota has confirmed that Kobayashi has signed a short-term contract before the Japanese driver moves to a more senior management role within the team. It is, however, being reported that Toyota hopes to retain rookie driver Zvezky in a long-term plan in their fight to the top of the standings. Throughout pre-season testing, the team has seemingly found themselves positioned in the upper midfield in the pecking order, posting competitive times against rivals such as Alpine and Aston Martin. Can Toyota make an impact on their return to the Formula 1 grid? Possibly even cause an upset amongst the bigger teams? We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out as we head down to the first round of the season in Australia.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Kobayashi, Benjamin, Bottas, Albon, Hulkenberg, Joe, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Sargent, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Natalie Pinkham is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
Well, it's clear, very clear conditions, and that makes it clear for the drivers because they don't have to worry and have that added distraction of fickle weather. They can concentrate on the driving and not everything else around them.
Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series on the channel, our Toyota Road to Glory in Season 1 at the first round of the season in Australia. I hope you enjoyed that little news segment I did at the start there. Something a bit new here that I haven't done before, so I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. But either way, we're wasting no time. We're straight into the formation lap here around our home Grand Prix. Obviously my home Grand Prix, not the team's home Grand Prix. But either way, we line up in 13th and 14th. Myself, I'm in 14th. Kobayashi is in 13th. So not a shocking qualifying to begin with for our team here. We've out-qualified quite a few cars here on the grid, but obviously a lot of work to move forwards as well in this race if we want to score any points. It would be nice to score points in our opening race on the return to the grid here. But, you know, you've got to play it by ear, really, and you just sort of got to fight for the most that you can afford. You don't want to do anything silly and be causing big accidents in your first race back in Formula 1. But either way, I'm very much looking forward to this series. I hope you are as well. And yeah, hopefully some very good things to come in the future. Getting it started nicely there, getting it pretty much as far forwards as you can in the grid box there. So that is a good omen, hopefully, for the rest of this race. We're starting on the medium tyre. The grid seems to be a bit split between soft and medium, so it'll be interesting to see how the different strategies play out. But we go to the 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a good launch. We've actually outdone Kobayashi there on our left, so we're straight past him. We're alongside Lance Stroll in the Aston, and Stroll's on the softs as well, so it's a really good launch off the line to get up alongside him there. We're going to try and go around his outside into P12 potentially, but he's going to come back around us through turn 2, and so we're going to go side by side with the Aston. He's actually pulled ahead of us there on the exit, and Kobayashi coming back at us around the outside of turn 3, just sort of showing his experience there in just motorsports in general, really, not even just Formula 1, but he's been out doing a lot of things since he left F1. And you can clearly see that experience showing. But either way, as it stands, we've just sort of really swapped positions. Now I'm in 13th, Kobayashi right behind me in 14th. We'll both be looking to gain as many positions as possible in this race, especially trying to defend from the guys behind as well. As we head down this back straight section here, this very fast S section, Kobayashi's going to come up along our outside. He's actually going to almost get us there. We try and hold down the inside, but he does get it in the end. He gets a poor exit though. We're going to come back alongside him here as we head down towards turn 14, I believe it is. Unfortunately, you can see the footage is a little bit choppy. It is for the first 3 or so laps, unfortunately. I don't really know why that happened, but either way, we do get the move done on Kobayashi a little bit later on in the race. It does get better. It's only for the onboard camera as well. But either way, here we go. The two McLarens battling each other into turn 1, heading on to lap 3. It is Norris around the outside of our fellow Aussie Piastri. He gets the move done into P8. So these guys looking to score some good points for themselves. And Piastri has actually been really hurt by that. Gasly tried to come up alongside him there. There's actually Ocon coming up alongside him there. Unable to get the move done, though. Alonso up ahead. Doing very well in the Aston Martin, especially compared to Stroll. Stroll out of the points in 12th. Alonso in P6, looking at the back of the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc for some more potential points. But he is slowing down. You can see Russell's right on the back of him. It's an engine failure for the Aston Martin. The Mercedes engine has gone bang there in just 3 laps in the first round of the season, so Alonso will not be happy about that. But either way, this has caused a little bit of a backup in the field, so these guys are all over the top of each other now. The 2 McLarens are there, the 2 Alpine, Stroll, even myself and Kobayashi now are on the back of this train. So can we maybe benefit from this and get a move done on the Canadian in the Aston? He goes defensive. We're going to look to the outside here. The outside line should be a bit better, except he's defended by just sending it on Pierre Gasly. He does have a poor exit though, so we get the cutback on him down the inside of the very fast right-hander. We get the move done. Kobayashi makes wheel-to-wheel contact there with Stroll, trying to get a move done on the Canadian himself there, and he might actually get it, through the last corner. He does get ahead of the Aston, so some very aggressive stuff there from myself and Kobayashi there to move up from 12th and 13th to 11th and 12th now. So a gain position from the both of us from that, as well as gaining a position from Alonso retiring. So we have gained 2 positions in that lap there, which is very good. We're now just outside of the points, as you can see, but up ahead, Leclerc versus Hamilton. Hamilton on the softs, Leclerc on the mediums, and it seems the mediums might actually be a little bit better than the softs at this stage of the race, because Stroll is falling backwards, and so is Hamilton clearly, as Leclerc has just overtaken him. As we now head onto lap number 6, though, we are all over the back of Pierre Gasly. This is to try and get ourselves into the points-paying positions. For 1 point at my home Grand Prix here, it would be very, very nice in our first round for Toyota as well. We're down the inside of turn 3. Gasly leaves us some space on the inside, so very generous there from the Frenchman. We go around the outside of turn 4, and we get the move done into P10 and into the points-paying positions. Can we maybe move forward a little bit more now? Or are we going to have to go full focus on keeping Gasly behind? As easy as he made it, not really, he didn't make it easy, but he certainly didn't squeeze us off the track like you can see sometimes in Formula 1. He is going to absolutely want this position back as he flies up alongside us with DRS. He's just completely gone. I've drained the battery trying to defend, but it wasn't even really worth it because he's just destroyed us down the straight as we head through this very fast S section now, trying to keep close with him. However, further up ahead, Charles Leclerc now attacking Sergio Perez. So Leclerc is on an absolute mission at the moment after having just overtaken Lewis Hamilton. He's now trying to overtake Sergio Perez as well around the outside. Can he get the move done? They're going to keep at it as well. No contact between the two of them. So this is very close. Good racing. Look at that. Perez around the outside now. Inside for the last corner. Gets the move done. Defends his 3rd spot and keeps that podium position. However, Leclerc will, I believe, have DRS. He's just not quite able to get the move done, though, as we are now going to have another look at Pierre Gasly into turn 3. Around the outside this time of the 3rd corner of the track. And again, we leave each other just enough room there through the inside of turn 4. We once again get the move into P10, so we keep getting a little taste of this points-paying position before Gasly takes it off us, and because of this, you can see the guys ahead have now pulled almost 2 seconds on us here, which means I've got absolutely no chance of getting DRS so long as this battle keeps going. And so I've just got to sort of work out what to do. You can see I go a bit more defensive this time to the left, but Gasly goes right over to the yellow line and just finds enough room to fit that Alpine through. And so we are now once again back down into P11. Kobayashi all over the back of us as well. How long will he just tolerate sitting behind us to try and let us get this position before we inevitably are going to either have to let him through or he just sends a dive bomb on us, I'd imagine. Actually, he might not be able to because Stroll, because of all this little battling we've got going, he's been able to keep up the back of this group. He gets the move done on Kobayashi, so a bit caught out there, I believe, our teammate. As the Aston Martin just sort of slips through out of absolutely nowhere into P12. And once again, we're on the back of Pierre Gasly heading on to lap 80. You can see I've actually waited. I could have gone for a move into turn 3 again, heading onto this lap, but I actually decided to wait for this back straight and see if we can maybe flip the positions around and get myself ahead. You can see we are side by side through this whole back section as we head into the very fast chicane. We get the move done on the Frenchman into P10 once again. It's now 2.6 seconds to Ocon ahead in the other Alpine. Gasly all over the back of us, not quite able to get the move done there, so we do, for now, hold on to P10. I actually run it a little bit wide there, but we do, luckily, hold the position over Gasly, and we can maybe try and work towards closing in that gap to the other Alpine. However, Leclerc, once again, trying to attack Sergio Perez, gets the move done this time. And so he's moved himself into third onto that podium position. It's now 2 Ferraris on the podium with Verstappen leading the way. However, now on lap 9, Gasly is going to come back at us here into turn 3. So you can see the roles have absolutely reversed. I want to keep it down the inside, though, to try and get this position where he goes a little bit wide. So Stroll slips through beautifully there into P11. Stroll is just slowly picking us off as we slow each other down here. And so for the moment, the Aston is looking to potentially try and score the only potential points of the opening round for that team after Alonso's engine blow up on lap number 3. However, looking further ahead, heading on to lap number 10, it's actually another engine failure. It's Sergio Perez. I thought he was pulling out to go for a move on Leclerc. It's actually an engine failure for Sergio Perez. So now that's a Red Bull powertrain that has gone bang just 10 laps into this race. And so it looks like reliability might be a little bit of a struggling issue for these teams in this season. You can see, though, Stroll has completely flown past us here, heading into turn 3. We've all gained an extra position, so now instead of 10th and 11th, this battle is for 9th and 10th. So we are both in the points at this stage, as I am now in 9th, defending that position from Stroll. Stroll actually had a really bad run through turn 4 there, and so he's sort of backed up the other guys. However, it was a mistake for Oscar Piastri, so Norris has slipped through there on his teammate. Piastri clearly got back through on Norris at some point, and I missed that, but they've now once again switched positions, and Ocon now attacking Oscar Piastri for P7 this is. Hopefully these guys battle. You can see it's a 2.1 second gap from these guys to myself down in 9th. But if these guys can keep battling, potentially we can get a bit drawn into this and hopefully try and fight for some more positions as they do once again. Battle going side by side here down the end of the straight. They're going to slow each other down quite a bit if they keep going side by side like this. Piastri does get the move done into P8. You can see the gap now is only 1 second back to me. In fact, it's actually down to less than a second. It's sort of levitating between 9/10 and 1 second. And you can see here now on lap 11, we are well within a second. We're actually within half a second now. So we have DRS on these guys as they once again battle away for P7 and P8 here. This time, Ocon around the outside of Piastri. He gets the move done. It's a poor run for Piastri. They're out of the corner, so we're going to try and go around the outside. We almost lose the rear of the car. We save it, though, and we do actually pull the maneuver off on the McLaren, so we've been able to really catch up because of those guys battling, and we've actually been able to pull off a move from it as well, get ourselves a position, and now hopefully we can keep up with Esteban Ocon and potentially mount a challenge to that Alpine for 7th place. However, looking a bit further back, here's Gasly and Stroll still battling away. Kobayashi is sitting just behind them, looking to potentially gain on the two of these guys should they come together or just slow each other up heaps from battling anyway. As they head through the X section, Gasly does get ahead of Stroll. In fact, now Kobayashi looking to get a run on the Aston as well. I guess Stroll just sort of a little thrown off guard there after having been passed by Gasly. So Kobayashi trying to mount a move, not actually able to get it done. So on lap 12, those softs still seem to be doing okay on that Aston Martin for him to defend the position. You can see at the end of lap 12, though, Hamilton also on the set of softs, as we said earlier, into the pit lane. So we gain a position from that so far until we pit. And we're now closing right in on Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. So we're going to go around the outside of the first corner. We get the move done. Ocon's had a poor run out of the corner because of that, though, because we went around the outside. He was stuck to the inside. So this allows Oscar Piastri in the McLaren to have a look here at potentially taking the position off him into P7. He goes around the outside of turn 3. He'll have the inside for turn 4. And these guys battling is going to allow us to pull away. So the exact thing that allowed us to catch up to begin with is now allowing us to get outside of a second, and we have, you can see, it's 1.3 seconds now from myself to Piastri, so we're outside of DRS range, and in a pretty safe position in P6 as well. It will be P7, obviously, as Hamilton has already made his pit stop for the race, but a P7 is very, very good, better than I was expecting for the first round. Meanwhile, Kobayashi looking to get himself potentially into the points for this race, as he gets ahead of Stroll there down the back section with the help of DRS, and I imagine some battery as well. So he's now into the points paying position. Can he defend, though, from Stroll now as the Aston closes in here, but not quite able to go for a move into the braking zone. Meanwhile, once again, Piastri and Ocon duking it out for 7th and 8th, and Ocon gets the move now on the McLaren to lead this little train here, which is excellent for us. It's now almost 1.5 seconds between ourselves and Ocon as we head now around the final corner on to lap 13. You can see it's going to be a couple more cars into the pit lane. Actually, Leclerc is into the pits here pitting off the medium tyres straight onto the hard compound tyres now. And so you can see the strategies are starting to come into effect at the moment. But Ocon makes a massive mistake into turn 1. He loses position to Piastri and Gasly. Kobayashi, though, unfortunately not quite there to get the move immediately. He's going to try go to the outside of turn 3 here. Can he get the move on the Alpine as he goes around the outside of the third corner, inside for turn 4? It doesn't quite look like he's got the track position for it. Ocon holds it alongside, but does just get ahead of our teammates. So super unfortunate there for Kamui to not get the spot. You can see here at the end of the lap, on to lap 14 now anyway, he comes into the pit lane following Esteban Ocon. I imagine Ocon will be in after probably completely flat spotting those tyres into turn 1, and hopefully that's a good stop for our teammate. Can he maybe potentially jump the Alpine? Unfortunately, I don't think he is quite able to, and I can confirm that he doesn't. You can see there on the left-hand side that he has not been able to jump up Ocon. However, Gasly and Piastri battling it out for what is currently 4th and 5th, but Gasly with a massive mistake. He's spun through turn 3 there, and he seems to be a bit stuck on the grass, actually, and because of that, the safety car has been deployed here in the first round of the season, and this is really, really good news for us, because a lot of the guys around us have already made their pit stop, and so we're going to effectively get a free spot and hopefully gain some positions. We were already in a really good position, though, and so it might not be as beneficial as if we were, say, maybe in the bottom parts of the midfield, and we were able to jump a whole bunch of our rivals there. So it might not be as effective. It is still nice, though, to be able to pit here with a little bit less pressure onto the hard compound tyres, and hopefully come out at least where we were before all of this pit strategy stuff came into effect. Hamilton has come past us there, so we haven't been able to jump the Mercedes. However, we do come out in P7, pretty much the top of the midfield, except for Lando Norris in P5 currently for McLaren. That's very good. We will do a full auto check there now. It is Verstappen leading the way for Red Bull ahead of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in 2nd and 3rd for Ferrari. George Russell, the lead Mercedes, in P4 at the moment, with Lando Norris, as I just said, doing very well in P5 for McLaren. Hamilton on that slightly different strategy, by the looks of it, he's currently on the mediums. He's in P6. Then myself in 7th. This is a really good position for us. If we could finish in P7, that would be really great to start off our career here in Toyota. And then Piastri, our fellow Aussie, in P8 for McLaren. Stroll still in the points in P9. Albon actually in the points in P10 for Williams, so doing very well there for those guys. Then Kobayashi currently in P12. Unfortunately, he just got a bit caught out there with the safety car timing. He came in literally the lap before the safety car came out, and so yeah, he really couldn't have had a worse timing for that. Hopefully, he has the pace to get himself a couple positions up into the points. He's only got to pass a couple cars and to get himself into the top 10. So hopefully, he can do that. But either way, now heading on to lap number 18, we are underway. Unfortunately, not any mistakes from the cars ahead of us to potentially look for any moves into turn 1. However, looking a bit further up ahead, the Carlos Sainz is closing right up on Verstappen here for the lead. In fact, Leclerc actually might even go on his teammate. So these guys all compressing on each other. Sainz is going to get attacked by his teammate into turn 3. They'll go side by side into turn 4 as well. Is Leclerc going to get the move done? It looks like he might, and he has. So I imagine the Ferrari pit crew is going absolutely off at the moment, as they've just allowed Verstappen to escape. He's almost got a second already. It's 7.5-ish tenths back to Leclerc, because these guys had to battle it out immediately upon the restart. In fact, Sainz is going to add salt to the wound and come back at his teammate here into the S section, and it looks like they're going to go side by side through the chicane. No, they're not. Sainz just gets himself ahead for now, but they've lost so much time to Max Verstappen, and Leclerc is going to come back at him again. So what is going on between these guys here? The battle to, I guess, establish themselves as the #1 driver in this opening season of the career mode, and it is Leclerc that comes out on top ahead of Carlos Sainz, at least for now, and it's a 1-second gap to Max Verstappen almost immediately. However, just a lap later, they've closed that gap up. I don't know what's happened there, but somehow Leclerc now finds himself alongside the Red Bull, heading down into the sharp right hand of this reprofiled corner for the last couple of years now. Can he get the move done on the reigning champion? Max Verstappen is to the inside, and he does get the move done. So I was not expecting it. You know what? Fair play to Charles Leclerc. I was just bagging him for immediately attacking his teammate on the safety car restart, but he's only gone and hunted down Max Max Verstappen by a second and taken the lead within 2 laps of the safety car restart. In fact, now Carlos Sainz as well looking to make a move on Verstappen. Does Verstappen maybe have some sort of damage or something? I don't know. But he's not been able to get the move done there on the Dutchman. And so now we've all backed each other up here. And look at this. It's going to be almost 2 by 2 here now. Heading in to turn 3. I'm just sitting back with a bucket of popcorn at the moment, waiting to see how I can potentially benefit from this. As Norris hang out to the outside by Hamilton, we're going to try and just duck in under the rear wing of the Mercedes. And we do get the position on the McLaren into P6 now. So out of nowhere, we've been able to benefit there from an absolutely insane scrap going on just on lap 20 here. There's 9.5-ish laps to go, and we find ourselves in a really good position as we look a bit further up. Sainz actually ended up losing out to George Russell as well. However, can the Ferrari now come back at the Mercedes as they head down into the S section? It doesn't look like it. He's just sitting right behind us. The Ferrari seem to have a whole lot of pace. Leclerc has 1.8 seconds now on the field, and Sainz is looking to gain back those positions that he just lost. Russell, though, to the outside of Verstappen. So I wonder if maybe the Red Bull does have some sort of issue. We did see Perez retire with an engine failure, so I wonder if now Max is having to conserve because the Red Bull pit crew have seen some sort of issue popping up with his engine because he's been absolutely swamped here after pulling nearly a second on that opening lap of the safety car restart. So Russell now in second, Verstappen's third, Sainz is fourth, Hamilton fifth, and myself in sixth. Now you can see up ahead Sainz once again looking to make a move on the Red Bull. So I think there's definitely something going on with the straight line speed of Verstappen's Red Bull. Sainz not quite able to get the move done once again though, so it's a repeat of what happened last lap. And so Hamilton's going to have a look at the Ferrari. They almost go 3 wide for a second there. Hamilton's going to go for a dive on Sainz and Verstappen. Can he get a double overtake around both of them, the Ferrari and the Red Bull? He does! What a fantastic dive from Hamilton to get the double overtake into the braking zone. So Hamilton now into third. Sainz still looking to get the move done on Verstappen. So Sainz definitely has pace. He's just not quite able to make the overtakes work, and because of that, he's just getting swamped. And in fact, I've actually got a good run out of the corner here, deploying a bit of battery, got some DRS and slipstream. I had to actually back out of it because I had nowhere to go, and now Sainz looking to make a move on the Red Bull once again into the S section, and this time he does get the move done into what is now P4, and can I maybe have a look at potentially getting a move on these faster guys? I doubt it. The only reason I'm really sticking with them at the moment is because they're all battling away. You can see Norris actually trying to attack me here, so just showing it's not my car being really fast, as a couple other midfield guys being able to stick with us as well. Once again, though, Sainz now going for a move into turn 1. That's 3 laps in a row. Sainz has gone for a move to the inside of turn 1, and it hasn't worked out for him. And it looks like it's going to be 3 times in a row that it's actually going to end up costing him, because Verstappen to the outside of turn 3. So 3 times in a row now, Sainz is going to lose a position after trying to gain a position at turn 1. And just like we did with Norris, we're going to slip down under the rear wing of the Red Bull, and we get through on Sainz into now P5. P5 in our first race at our home Grand Prix in Toyota's return to the series in 14 years. This is absolutely incredible. In fact, we've got a run on Verstappen, so definitely, as I was saying, there's some sort of issue with that Red Bull powertrain in Verstappen's car, because we now find ourselves alongside the reigning world champion into the S section. We hold it side by side, around the outside, a little bit of contact with our side pod there from the Red Bull, but we do get the move into P4. But look at this absolute gaggle of cars behind us trying to gain position. Sainz goes around the outside of the Red Bull, gets the move done, so he's now all over the back of us, and we've seen that that Ferrari, is incredibly quick at this stage of the race. Meanwhile, the 2 McLarens also now having a look at potentially getting ahead of Verstappen. So something definitely wrong with that Red Bull as we clear into the closing stages of this race. We have a slightly poor exit out of the S section though. And so here comes Carlos Sainz to make a move. And Verstappen, in fact, actually coming for us. So maybe they fixed that engine now, because he was very quick down the straight just there. And so we've not only been jumped by the Ferrari, but Verstappen as well has made his way through. But as I was saying a little bit earlier, and I'm not really expecting to be fighting these fast guys. We're only with them because they were all battling each other. And you can see now they're gone. They're 2 seconds up the road from us. So Verstappen has definitely fixed whatever issue it is, because he's looking to try and get a move done on the Ferrari. Meanwhile, Lando Norris now trying to get a move done on us. He does get it done into P6. Meanwhile, Kobayashi trying to get a move done on Alex Albon for P11. He unfortunately hasn't gained the positions I would have, sort of just would have liked to see, as he still finds himself in P12, where he started on the safety car restart, unable to get the move done on Alex Albon. However, though, now, with 2.5 laps to go, we are looking all over the back of the McLaren to try and get ourselves back into 6th place here. through the S section, not able to get on that first part of the back straight, but as we now head into this back section again, we're going to deploy ERS, we're going to open DRS, he goes defensive to the inside, so we're going to go to the outside here, and we have seen throughout the race, this outside line is more beneficial because you get the exit, and we do get the move done back into P6. Kobayashi also going around the outside of Albon into this section, and he does get the move done into P11, and unfortunately, I just don't quite think he has the pace to close in 3.2 seconds in 2 laps there to get himself into the points. However, you can see now on lap 28, so we're in the very, very closing stages of this race. There was nothing I could really do to defend from Norris. He absolutely obliterated us down that straight. All I can really hope to do is keep it close enough to potentially go for a return serve on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Looking a bit further up ahead, though, Verstappen on the back of Lewis Hamilton here. So Sainz has actually been able to work his way ahead of Hamilton, and now Verstappen follows him through. Hamilton dropping some positions down from what was 3rd down to 5th again after pulling off that awesome dive bomb that we saw a few laps ago to get that double overtake into turn 3. So for now, Verstappen finds himself back into P4, and we are not close to Norris whatsoever. In fact, it's our fellow Aussie Piastri in the other McLaren looking to make a move on us. He's gonna just slightly get the better exit out of turn 3, and so he does slot into P7 just ahead of us there. We're back into P8. We've definitely lost the opportunity to try and get a move on Lando for P6. Can we potentially try and get the highest rating Aussie position? Unfortunately, I don't think so, because Piastri's car was just very clearly quicker through those couple corners. However, this is the last lap of the Grand Prix, remember, Verstappen around the outside of Carlos Sainz to get himself back onto the podium, and so I'm sure he'll be happy that Red Bull fixed whatever issue it was he seemed to have. He did lose out on the race win in the end there, but he's able to get himself on the podium. Leclerc, though, wins the Australian Grand Prix in the opening round of this season. So great stuff there from the Ferrari team to get the first win, and unfortunately we weren't quite able to get Piastri, but in the end, P8 at the opening round is very, very good. I'm very happy with that result.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home. Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end then, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they are very much at one with the car, which is a cliche, but it's true. It's not an easy process, and that work is very much paying off.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
So here we are with the results for the Australian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc takes the first win of the season, and obviously the championship lead as well, having only had one race in the championship so far. Russell finishes in 2nd place, and Verstappen rounds out the podium, also picking up a fastest lap point there. Sainz finishes P4 for Ferrari, ahead of Hamilton, who ended up down in 5th. Those medium tyres seeming to have just worn out a little bit towards the end there, so he lost those couple of positions. Lando finishes in 6th, ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri in 7th. We finish in P8, which is, in my opinion, a really nice, solid finishing position for our first race in F1, as well as Toyota's return to F1. Stroll in P9 for Aston. Ocon rounds out the points in P10 there for Alpine, and Kamui ends up in P11. Also a very decent result, so sort of showing we are in the sort of upper midfield-ish areas in the grid so far. Well, at least at this starting stage of the season. Hopefully, as the season progresses, we can only improve that and get more consistent finishing positions. And who knows, potentially, if we've started here, maybe even try and score a cheeky podium or two by the end of this 10-round season. We'll skip the driver standings in this one because obviously being the first round, it's just where everyone finished in this race. But looking straight at the constructors, Ferrari lead the way by 9 points over Mercedes. Red Bull are in 3rd ahead of McLaren, and then it's ourselves and Toyota in 5th, so a nice solid starting position in the constructors there. Hopefully we move forwards more and not further back. Aston are in 6th ahead of Alpine in 7th, and those are all the point scorers. The top 7 constructors scoring points in this opening round, and then Williams, AlphaTauri, Haas and Alfa Romeo to round out the constructors title so far after this first 10 rounds. But if you have enjoyed this video, guys, and the introduction of this new series, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. I've really enjoyed it. I'm happy to be back with the career mode now. And yeah, I'm super excited to get stuck into trying to get Toyota to the top of the Formula 1 standings. But yeah, again, if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.